students, today we are going to continue with our previous chapter that we are learning about, that was in regarding to Chinese civilization. And before going forward, let us have a preview that we had studied previously about the Chinese civilization, where we learned about various important basic things about what existed or where did the Chinese civilization exist. In this, we studied about the location and origin of the Chinese civilization as to where exactly in central part of the Asia the Chinese civilization started. And one of the most important river that existed during that time was the Wangho River, which had its own important significance in the Chinese civilization, which was also regarded as the river of sorrow. Then we studied about various main characteristics of the Chinese civilization, where we studied about the town planning, where we studied about how the structure of the town was planned, in which way the roads, the system of houses, how it was constructed. Then the exact form of houses which described the differentiation of society division, where certain construction was based on the economical status or financial status of the people of the Chinese civilization. We also studied about the structure of architecture. It has a unique pattern, or we learned about a unique pattern which was known as the wings of the bird, which the structural roof of the houses that was constructed, or any of the structural form of buildings that were constructed, the roof were in such a pattern that it looked like the wings of the bird, which still has its existence in the today's time. Then we studied about one of the very important structure which has an historical importance, known as the Great Wall of China, which was constructed initially by individual kingdoms for protecting their own part of territories. Then by Shang dynasty, how it was later by Shang dynasty, how it was the whole of the walls were joined together to form a single wall, to become a great barrier for any kind of obstruction of any kind in regarding to the outside world or any kind of attacks that were done. Now we studied about how the structure was formed, and how and what was the length, total length or breadth of this particular wall, which were considered from the northern part of the China to the southern end, which stretched up to about approximately 2,400 kilometers. Now, imagining this only, I had also told you that how skillful those people were during that time, which made such kind of construction in such a way which describes its own beauty and the knowledge of the people during that time, without any kind of modern machineries or equipments, which involves a lot of hard work. That is why it is categorized as one of the 7 wonders of the world in today's time. Now, continuing with that, we are going to study about the occupational structure. The other main characteristics about the Chinese civilization is the occupation. Now, it was considered that occupation here also were of different or unique in its form. Now, similarities is that agricultural was also one of the major or the main structure of occupation for the civilization too, but they were also included, or they were also occupied with some different kind of practices that they evolved by themselves. Now, for example, the evolution of tea as one of the beverages of today's time too, were started by the Chinese civilization, where this particular civilization for the first time in the world cultivated tea, which later on spread and became one of the important ingredients in the life of people of consumption of tea on a regular or daily basis. Now, this also stated that people of this civilization also had various other form of activities or things that they used to conduct or do other than agriculture or cultivation of tea. and whatever surplus they had, they used to transport it to other civilization, and that means export it to other civilization, and even what they did not have within themselves, they imported from the other civilization. Now these traces were found when the historians excavated those areas of Chinese civilization and found certain similarities of different kind of things that existed, which showed that the Chinese civilization also had a trade relationship with the other civilizations. Now this advancement had various different importance or evolutions that were created later on, like the formation of sericulture. Now what is this sericulture? Sericulture is cultivation of silk through silkworm, and it was done firstly in the Chinese civilization, where most probably the trees which was known as the mulberry tree was used to produce silkworms, and these silkworms were variously utilized, or they were variously processed in such a form in their own way that it from there silk was extracted, and this silk extraction was, you can say, it was practiced as a monopoly kind of occupation by the Chinese civilization in the earlier part, when they had first discovered the production of silk, and they started exporting and earning a huge income from it. But later on in the 5th century, when this form of practice started to spread in other parts of the world, then the monopoly system started to break down, and in other civilizations or other part of the civilization also the cultivation of silkworm started. But the importance here, it states that Chinese civilization were the first people who brought about the production of the silk through silkworm. Then the next is about the domestication of animal. Now it was common for every civilization that domestication of animal were practiced, where important animals which gave them important products as a byproducts through them were used to be kept at their homes and used as domestic animals, which gave them a lot of different kind of products, like animals such as cows, horses, sheep, goats, etc. Now one important form of structural thing that existed or that came up by the Chinese civilization, which is categorized in art and handicraft. In this, we come to know about a particular form of construction or particular form of making of pots, and this kind of pots were known as porcelain. Porcelain. Now what was porcelain? Porcelain was a special kind of mud, or a special kind of mud that was used to make a structure of pots, which had a unique feature. Why it was unique feature? Because those kind of muds were basically used in the, or were found in the Chinese civilization areas, and using those muds there was a special structure of, or a special quality of pots or pottery system, or pots were made by the potters, which was known as the porcelain, having a unique design or a different kind of clay through which it was made. There are other things also that were made by the Chinese civilization, like vases, then you have saucers, then cups and bowls. These were other utensils also that were made by the potters during that time, which had its own unique design, structure or formation, which is also used in present times also, which states the practice of tradition that was carried for a long period of time, which still exists in the modern period. Now, there were also important other structure of occupation or other structure of special quality that existed during the time, which was in regarding to wood. wood, or certain things which were made out of woods, and structural things that were constructed or produced using the woods. Now here it is said that large quantity of timber or woods were being utilized by the Chinese civilization to bring about a large scale of production, especially for construction of certain buildings. Large building or houses was constructed in special designing format by the Chinese civilization using the woods, and those were in such a form or design made, it looked totally different compared to the other civilizations. It had its unique feature, design and structures, which was very beautiful and unique piece of handwork that was done by the Chinese civilization. Now, those woods that were most probably used for this kind of construction were mostly the ivory. Ivory were certain structure or form of woods that were used to make such kind of buildings. Not even buildings, they made small cabinets or small structural houses of small form or a single form, which are used for various different activities by the Chinese civilization people. So this woodwork also was one of the special kind of artwork or special kind of handicraft work or artifacts which were used or which were developed by the Chinese civilization. Now trade, as we call trade, if you go and learn about the trades, as I explained that there were various important things or unique things that were made by the Chinese civilization or produced or cultivated by the Chinese civilization. For example, the existence of, you say, tea cultivation, the formation of porcelain, production porcelain by the potters, then you have wooden works, and there were certain important metals that existed in the Chinese civilization. That uniqueness brought about a lot of trade relationship with the other civilization like Mesopotamian civilization, Indus Valley civilization, also with the Egyptian civilization. They exchanged goods and commodities, and thus what happened, a trade relationship started to build up by the Chinese civilization with the other civilization. So for today we are going to end up in this, and we are going to continue, and we are going to complete in our next class this particular chapter, and we are going to also in my next class I am going to state or give you certain important notes that are pending in our previous chapters related to a previous chapter that we have already completed. Thank you very much.